For the 5th time in 6 years, Chelsea have come to America for pre-season. 4 matches in 4 cities.
In 11 action-packed days, Chelsea TV are fitting in and covering it every step of the way. The first journey of the tour was a short one. The players' bus departed from Cobham en route to Gatwick. The most notable absentee was Joe Cole, who had suffered a minor setback in his recovery from injury. 26 players boarded the bus, with new signing Yuri Zhirkov set to join up with the squad in Seattle.
The players are about 30 feet down that way and they're all fast asleep. One of them, of course, is JT. Of course he was here. Did you really ever think he was going to miss this? One of the things you worry about when you're ever on an aeroplane is who you're going to sit next to. I have to say, today's neighbour has been good as gold, or should I say good as silver. Fast asleep. FA Cup, what do you have to say? How's the flight been? Obviously not a talker. 4 more hours until Seattle. We will see you on the West Coast.
After a gruelling 9.5-hour flight, the squad finally touched down in Seattle. The 5-star Four Seasons Hotel was the first destination. Upon arrival, Carlo Ancelotti took the players for a walk and a stretch around the grounds of the complex before the hard work really started.
Half an hour west out of Seattle on the banks of Lake Washington, this is the tremendous VMAX Center, the training facility for the Seattle Seahawks of the NFL and also for the Seattle Sounders, our opposition in Game 1 of this tour. For days 1 to 4 of the tour, it is home to us too. And like everything else in America, the cars, the food, and all the buildings and land, and some of the people, it is absolutely enormous.
Enormous indeed. The VMAX Center really is a stunning facility that is home to both the NFL side, the Seattle Seahawks, and the MLS team, the Seattle Sounders. Inside, home's a full-size football pitch, as well as a state-of-the-art gym. And of course, a first-class recovery centre. Out on the training pitch, some of the Seahawks were there to greet the team, including quarterback Matt Hasselbeck. So Matt, it's a nice shirt. Are you thinking of switching sports?
You like the shirt? It feels good. The Chelsea blue. I like it. I like it. Talk to my agent.
A few of the boys then had the chance to work on their catching practice. Some faring better than others.
Well, I was trying to coach them up on how to catch a football. You know, it's not a round ball, it's pointy, and they were trying to use their hands. And, you know, in their sport, they're not allowed to use their hands. So my advice probably didn't work. It probably would have been better off trying to, you know, catch it off their chest and then their leg and then maybe, you know, dribble it on their foot or something. So I don't know. I didn't give good advice.
It was then back to the team hotel for a few media commitments, where we also spoke to an old friend.
Frank, normally on the southwest coast, what brings you to the top of the northwest coast of America?
I've decided to come, and ESPN asked me to come because they know that I'm really a crazy Chelsea fan, and they wanted me to get some interviews for them. So we had the chance to talk to Carlo Ancelotti, to Frank Lampard, and to Salomon Kalou. I'm pleased. I've seen all the players. You're going to come down to Los Angeles on Tuesday 21st, and I played before your game, so I'm going to pleased to see John Terry how to defend properly, because that's really a nightmare.
But before that, there was an open training session at the impressive Questfield Stadium, the venue for our very first game against the Seattle Sounders. Hundreds of excited local fans converged to greet the squad. During the session, we managed to speak with some of the Sounders officials who were absolutely delighted with the turnout.
Well, this is phenomenal because it's obviously one of the very elite teams. And, you know, even the Seahawks players, when we were practicing at VMAC today, you know, the Seahawks players, they know the names. They know who these players are. So it's absolutely spectacular to be able to see them, you know, in our own stadium. And I think in this community, people understand soccer and they know the game. So that wasn't as big a challenge here as it might be in some other places in the United States. And I think that's one of the great things about Chelsea coming and going on tour, is that you're able to bring the product up close and personal to the fans across the country. And I think when people see that, they will fall in love with the game.
There was then the opportunity for a select group of competition winners to get up close and personal with their heroes as they look forward to the big game. And soon enough, match day ticked around and the atmosphere in town was electric.
Welcome to Bedlam, or more specifically Pioneer Square. This is the traditional meeting point for Seattle Sounders fans. They get here before a game and then march the 3 blocks or so down to Quest Field. It's 10:30 now, an hour and a half till kick-off in our first game of this tour. The band is playing, the fans are all here. We're going to join them for the march down to the stadium.
Chief Executive Peter Kenyon and Sounders majority owner Joe Roth led the way to Quest Field ahead of the big kick-off. The fervent crowd would be in for a treat as a strong Chelsea side lined up to face the Sounders in front of a whopping 65,000 sellout.